Hello, my name Hello, my name is Yvonne.
My name's Zee.
This is our testimony of our birthing experience.
Hey.
Yay! So I think you should go first.
What do you mean?
Like your side of the testimony. Okay, I'll go first.
Okay.
It all started when I was ironing some clothes and I heard the Holy Spirit say, wouldn't it be cool if your water broke? And I got really excited. That was the seed that the Lord started planting in my heart of having a natural birth. I've always wanted to have a natural birth, and every single time, once 4 centimeters hits or whatever small centimeter hit, I would just be in so much pain and I wouldn't be able to make it through, and I'll get the epidural, I'll get everything, but it was in my heart. And like the Bible says that the Lord will give you your heart's desire. I want to say like toward the closer to my labor, I would say maybe like in the middle of the 7-month mark, I started getting like cramps, my leg cramps. And my last pregnancy with our daughter, all of these symptoms came and I spoke against it. I didn't come into agreement with anything and I was completely fine. We had just this miracle, like it was amazing pregnancy. And so this time around, I went to war and I was like, no, that I can't, that this is a lie from the pits of hell. This is not true. I don't come into agreement with it. But then the Lord started speaking to me and the Lord was preparing me. He said, I'm preparing you to surrender. I'm teaching you how to surrender. I would say like when it was time to give birth, I was like, how many weeks?
I want to say like
38, 37. So I would say like 37 weeks, I started getting Braxton Hicks. And here comes Tuesday, the 17th of November. And my mom is here. My mom got here on the 15th. It was a normal morning, but getting breakfast and all that stuff ready, the kids ready, the baby's ready. And then I feel this feeling that was familiar. And it brought me back to like when we were younger as girls and you get your cycle and that cramp. And I was like, oh, I remember that feeling. Oh my God, it's not a great feeling, right? And so I was like, I looked at my husband because we literally passed right here and shoulder to shoulder. And I looked at him and I said, like, I think I'm having contractions. And he's like, nah, he didn't believe me. And so then I'm like, okay. And so I just continued the day. Prior to this, I watched 2 TikTok videos. And one was this woman, she was talking about how she was in labor. Like she was like, oh, I'm going to clean my house so I don't have to come back to a dirty house. I want to come back to a clean house. And I'm like, ooh, you can do that? Oh, okay. So that was a seed planting by the Lord, like for real. And then the second video was this lady, she says, if you can talk between your contractions, you don't need to go to the hospital. So that was the second one.
10 minutes in, we still are not even halfway through. It's true.
Who cares? Why you always gotta be like this? Like I'm so excited and then you just like poof.
Yeah.
Like how should I continue now, Lord? Okay. So 2 videos that really, really penetrated my heart. I knew I was having contractions and I just thought about the lady who was like, I'm going to clean my house while I have contractions and then I come back to the house, clean house. And so then I just keep going. I'm like, okay, I can do this, We get in the car, we go to church, and I'm still having contractions. We put the kids in the children's church. Me and my mom go into the sanctuary, and we're sitting in the second row. And my husband joins us, and then worship starts. And I sit down, and I'm thinking like, I'm just gonna sit down and just worship the Lord, sitting down, because I'm getting contractions, like they're coming in. And mind you, this whole time I'm having conversations. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, well, I can talk, so I don't need to go to the hospital, right? Yeah. And so then worship starts, and I hear the Lord very clearly. He says, get up. And I'm like, nah, you're just kidding. Like, no, I just sit down. And he's like, get up. And I'm like, oh, okay, because I'm not going to do it a third time. I'm not going to tell no. So then I get up and I start worshiping. And I'm just like I can feel the glory. Oh my God, worship was so sick. The Holy Spirit was in that worship time. And I can just feel the Lord like holding me. And every time a contraction would come in, I would like raise my hand and just like tell the Lord, you know what, Lord, it's not about me, it's about you. And every single song, oh my gosh, it was like he was speaking to me, like literally. At the end of worship, I sat down and I was holding my husband's hand, and I remember just like squeezing, and I don't know if it was how hard I was squeezing or the time in between the squeezes. He looked at me and he was like, "Are you gonna make it?" And I was like, and I looked at him and was like, "Ask God." Because I don't know. And he was like, he finally thought about it, was like, okay, we need to go. We get in the car, get our family in the car. Mind you, we have my mom, we have our two older sons, and our daughter.
Yeah, when you say older, they're 8 and 5. They're not like grown.
8 and 5. And so, and our daughter, she's like, at the time, she was 18 months. So I'll get in the car, and then he starts driving home. And we're like 8 minutes from the house. And we're like,
I mean, like before that, we're driving, we're like 30 minutes away from home, and like worship music is blasting in the car, and she keeps like squeezing my hand. How frequent like you're supposed to get contractions before we go to the hospital? And she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, so I asked Grok, the AI, and it says like 5 minutes. Not like we had 3 kids. Like we still have to ask these questions. But anyways, so she's squeezing my hand every time she gets a contraction, and I'm looking at the like a clock on the worship song, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna time it 2 minutes apart, 2 minutes 10 seconds apart. I'm like, okay, this is like too frequent. Like this is not normal. So I look over and I see her like sweating.
I didn't even know I was sweating. I think
like drenched. And I'm like, okay, you just cannot fake that. Like she's really having a baby. But like I still in my mind, I'm like, I'm just gonna go home, at least drop the kids off. If I have to go to the hospital, we can go to the hospital from home. Ivana's like, I gotta pee. Like I can't do it. Like I'm gonna pee on myself. To like pull over. I gotta pee. And I'm like, yeah, there's like we're like 8 minutes away from home. There's a gas station like right around the corner. Just wait over there. And she's like, no,
like
just
really
pull over right now. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so dramatic. So I just pull over. This is like this accumulation of like trauma that pushed me to this like callousness about this. So pull into this parking lot, backward parking lot, and she gets out of the car to pee. I go to her side to like help her, and like I look down and I see like blood coming out, like and I'm like, oh my god. And I was like, honey, that's blood. That's not pee. We gotta go to the hospital. Why you keep like?
Because I want to like talk, because I was.
Oh, okay. That's I want to talk.
I mean,
okay,
you
go
just
ahead.
like took over.
All right, go ahead.
Anywho.
I mean, you talk for like 16 minutes.
Yeah,
and
but
I
it's
talk like maybe 1 minute.
But I told you to start your side though.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. You just edit. Okay, so he said that there was blood that came out, and then and this is the most coolest part. He went. I looked back, and then he reached into the car and yanked out the chair, and that was the most romantic thing I've ever seen him do. I was like, it was like a light shining on my husband, and I was like, oh my gosh, like honey, in my mind, because everything was happening in my mind, and I was like, oh, because you really just reached in, you were like, rawr, you pull that chair out, like, and then you were like, get in the car, get in there. I was like, I can't sit.
So what she means by that is we have a minivan and there's like middle seats, but I knew she would have tough time trying to go all the way back because we wanted her to lay down. She couldn't sit. She said she couldn't sit. So for her to get in all the way back seats comfortably, I thought I would just take one of the seats out, and the way that you do that, you just like rip it out basically. But I guess for her it looked like I'm just ripping something out of the car.
It was so amazing. And so like he told me to get in the back and lay down, so I got in the back and I laid down, and while I was laying down I was holding on to the chair in front of me because it was like wobbly, and I was literally the whole time dialoguing with the Lord. I was like, what is going on, Lord? That's all I was saying in my head. And I think he was talking to me, and he can talk about that in a second. So it wasn't until my water broke that I got quiet in my head. And like my water broke. And I got so joyful in that moment in my head. I was like, oh my God, okay, you did it. You did it. Yeah, I got my water broke. My water broke. It was so exciting. Like I went, ah, like a little lamb, and I felt like a push after my water broke. And I think the baby got pushed down at that moment. And I kept asking God slowly this time. I was like, what is going on, God? What is this? What is happening? And all he said was, ring of fire, very clearly. And I was like, ring of fire? In my head, I was like, ring of fire? And then it dawned on me, because ring of fire is when the head starts to crown. And that's a whole nother thing.
Speaking of hair, look how big my head is compared to yours. It's giant. Like your whole body is not as big as mine. My head is just so unsettling to look at.
Oh, honey.
Okay,
Jesus.
continue.
Okay, so the crowning, ring of fire is whenever the head is crowning, and so that's a whole nother revelation of being crowned to come into the world. Like, yo, like the Lord, it was all in here. At that moment, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in labor. There wasn't no pain like before. And so I didn't really understand that I was in labor until he told me ring of fire. And I was like, oh, I'm in labor. I'm in labor.
Meantime, I noticed her water broke because I smelt it.
Yeah.
And there's a smell that got, especially in the car, and like all of a sudden there's that smell, and I'm like, oh, her water broke. Dang, like we gotta go. Like I have to get to the hospital. But like every time I like twist and turn, she would go like ah.
Like a lamb.
I asked her like, how you doing, honey? I don't want to talk right now.
I needed to go to the hospital.
And I'm like, okay. So I pull up to the hospital. So I get inside and I say, my wife is giving birth in the car. Can you guys come help? They just like rush out, like 6 people came out. And they came out with like those big old wheelchairs, but like big ones. Like 2 people can sit right next to each other, those big ones. They come out. The nurse gets in the car and she like checks on her, and she's like, okay, I don't see crowning. And she's like, you gotta get out of the car.
God bless them for real, because they were so kind, and they were like, you can do it. You can get out of that car. You're not gonna have a baby in that car. And I was just like, I just got like, so I don't know. It was just, the spirit was just lifting me up, and I was like, okay. And I ended up getting out of the car like miraculously, and I was like, oh my gosh. But I was not sitting down. I was not sitting down.
Right.
No one was gonna make me sit down. There was no way. So then I get on the wheelchair.
So like
facing backwards.
Her hands are on this side and
On
her
the chair.
knees are on the chair. So
Yeah.
she's like bent over,
Mhm.
holding on to here, and they are feeling her in.
Yeah. So they wheeled me. So I'm just staring at the ground at this point. They wheeled me inside of the room. And then all I remember was going, ah. And y'all, my body, I could feel like the bottom push, and bloop, something. I felt it's like having like something fall in your pants. And I told I think I told her that. And so she went around, she like peeked, and she's like, we have a head. We have a head. And so but I can feel like she didn't know what to do. Like she was so in shock that she didn't know whether to pull my pants down, keep them up, like what to do. And then they were like, I think they said, don't push, don't push. I mean, I was like, not even like what? And then I guess she just got tired and she just ripped them down. I know that for sure, because I felt her just go whoop. And then
They cut it.
they cut it. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know. I felt the urgency. That's what I felt, because I couldn't see. But then like they were like, don't push, don't push. But then my body started pushing for me, and I went like not even it was no screaming. It was like literally just like that, like and then I felt my body push again, and then the lady said, "Oh, we have a baby. We have a baby." Because then I felt like the plopping of the body come out. Like it was so gnarly. Like it was crazy. And then like she was like, "We have a baby. We have a baby." And then they were just scrambling. Everybody was scrambling. And I'm just like there in La La Land. I was just like, okay, this just happened.
So like my perspective, this is
Yeah,
what's
yeah, this
happening.
is cool.
So they take her. I'm still dealing with the kids. I take the kids out of the car and I go upstairs where she's at, and the nurse is like, you gotta get in there right now. She just gave birth, and I'm like, what? You guys just wheeled her in? And she's like, no, just run to the end of that corridor on your right. She gave birth, I think. And I'm like running. I'm like 250 pounds. Just like just running into through the like the baby baby delivery floor, and I like bust into the room. What I see is like, though, like in the documentaries, like when giraffes give birth, they give birth like standing up, and like the baby giraffe just like fall on the ground, and the umbilical cord is still like attached to it. And then they try to like get up and walk and stuff. I see my wife like bent over to the wheelchair, and a person behind her holding my baby like like this, and like looking up to me, and she's like, come cut this like cord. So I cut the cord, and then they take the baby, and I'm like, I'm so happy. I'm like,
he was really happy.
I was like, oh my God, like you did it. You just gave birth. Because all other pregnancies,
Yeah.
like all other births were like laborious. First one, we were in the hospital for like we got into the hospital. By the time we gave birth was like 18 hours or something. Second one was something like that too. Third one was a C-section, ended up being a C-section. So I was just like I never experienced something like this. So it was very cool that she just like gave birth, and I was just so happy, and I was just praising her and God, and it was very cool.
You're telling what you said. I used to be a drug addict, and then you really,
so yeah,
that's
I used
part of the testimony.
I used to be a very heavy drug addict. I used to smoke crack. After everything was done, I was like, oh my God, this feels like I just smoked crack. Like it literally reminded me of that feeling.